What's up, everybody? Tony the Brick Whisperer coming back at you from the rec room. Good to be back. Got some building done. However, the builds that we're going to be talking about, kind of like I said in the previous video, uh, were from Wrestlemania building. I said I'm a big wrestling fan, WWE, not a sponsor, and the floral arts that we had put together in that last video, that was from night one of WrestleMania. Today we're going to knock out night two. And I just put together some little sets that didn't necessarily have any rhyme or reason as to why I chose these three. No rhyme or reason whatsoever. Well, I take that back. The third one will have one. Um, so I just wanted to get some stuff built before we went on that vacation I told you about when we went to San Diego. So again, no sponsors. Bricks and Minifigs Avondale not a sponsor. Lego not a sponsor. Any company I might mention not a sponsor. So, with that, all three of these builds, correction, two of these three builds were for Mrs. Brick Whisperer. One was for my father in law. And I am looking forward to the next episode that we put up here on this channel because I am going to finally add set counts. Not necessarily set counts, but the collection count. How many sets does Mrs. Brick Whisperer have? How many sets do I have that we have already built and showcased here on this channel? So first, why don't we just go ahead and dive in to our very first build, which is going to be boom! Set number 40291, Creative Personalities. Hans Christian Andersen book. So this was a interesting little set. I did not think that Mrs. Brick Whisperer was going to like this one, but she saw this. I don't remember where we were when we found it. We might have found it at the over at Barnes and Noble. Um, but again, not a sponsor. But I had absolutely no idea that she was a Hans Christian Andersen fan. He wrote many books, probably the most popular of which being The Little Mermaid. But enough talking from me. Let's just dive right into the build. Here we go. Okay, and we are off. As previously stated, 40291 Creative Personalities. This set was released on the 1st of June of 2018, and it retired that same year on the 31st of December of 2018. This was a GWP gift with purchase. It was also available only in Danish Lego stores. That was it. So this set came with 307 pieces. Took me all of 17 minutes to put it together. And as stated, Hans Christian Andersen, Danish author, he wrote, like I had stated also earlier, The Little Mermaid. He is also famous for writing The Ugly Duckling and um, The Snow Queen, Thumbelina. So, I mean, he's got quite a few books under his belt. So, again, like I said, I have absolutely no idea what. I didn't even know this about my wife. She's in the back laughing, like, ah, I kept something from you, or I don't know. Woman's a complete mystery to me sometimes. And as I sit here and do my commentary for this little build, she is in the living room cracking up. I'm fairly certain you're not going to hear her, but hey. So, as I said, this was night two of WrestleMania. I just wanted to get some builds done, and there it is on the turntable. We got Hans Christian Andersen sitting on the bench as if he is writing The Ugly Duckling and telling it to this kid. So, fun little build. So, who would have thought that this would have ever graced our collection? I had absolutely no idea. But hey, I said earlier that two of the three builds were going to be from Mrs. Brick Whisperer. This one was more or less for my father-in-law. So you saw in a previous video that I put together the Endurance. Well, it just so happens that I was unable to get my hands on the GWP that came with that set. So now we will be building, boom, set number 40729, Shackleton's Lifeboat. This one just stumbled into my lap. Not gonna lie, thought it was great that it just showed up, picked it up, got it all complete, put together, made sure that every correct piece that was there, got both the minifigs. Life is good. So let's go ahead and get this added to the Endurance. And then I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put it. But that's a problem for another day, not today. Here we go. So as you can see, I've already gone through, I've already taken it apart. I put it back in the bags just as Lego would have when they had first gotten it. And as stated, this was a GWP for that in 10335, the Endurance set. This is set number 40729, Shackleton's Lifeboat. This was released on the 24th of November of 2024, and it only lasted about 4 or 5 weeks. It retired at the end of 2024. Total piece count would be 232. And this set also took me approximately 20 minutes to put together. It's a little set. And I'm just very happy that I was able to get it added and sitting right next to the Endurance. My father-in-law loves it. He thought it was cool. In fact, he had absolutely no idea what it was that Shackleton was holding. He had asked me if it was a specific item, of which I am not going to disclose what it was he said that he thought it was. I just looked at him and I was like, my goodness, you're Italian. And so I explained to him what it was. And the reason for that lengthy pause is because I'm sitting here hearing, just listening to Mrs. Brick Whisper laugh. It's kind of comical to hear her laugh at my commentary. So I explained to him it was a sexton, tried to explain what a sexton was. I'm not entirely sure he got it, but whatever. And so there it is. A rather cool little set. This one, of all the sets I put together that were not Star Wars, I probably had the most fun with the Endurance and this Lifeboat set. Lots of fun. So, as stated, my father-in-law he was curious what he was holding, and I tried to explain exactly what it was. I knew that a sextant was used for navigation. I just did not know how it was used. So, what do you say we learn together? Let's go to good old Google University, where it says it's a double reflecting handheld instrument used in celestial navigation to measure the precise angle between celestial bodies like the sun, the moon, or stars, as well as the visible horizon, which they can use to calculate their exact position at sea. Very, very cool. So now we know. All right, so this third build that we're going to dive into, Mrs. Brick Whisper was very adamant that we pick this up. I was kind of shocked how much she wanted this one. So we are going to dive right in and build. Boom! Set number 40916, the floral picture frame. Not a bad little set. I know how much she loves all of her botanicals. And so, hey, why not get this added to the rest of her collection? And she's already picked out a picture for what she is going to put in the frame. So let's dive right in and get this built so that we can make Mrs. Brick Whisperer happy for another day. Here we go. All right, so set number 40916, the floral picture frame. This set was just recently released on the 9th of March of 2026. 310 parts, took me all of 24 minutes. Currently being sold, or I'm sorry, it was being sold as a gift with purchase. So I knew that Mrs. Brick Whisper really wanted this frame, and we sat there and we hemmed and hawed as to what we were actually going to put into it. And so it sat, like I said, this is night two of WrestleMania. This was a week or so before we went on vacation. And it just sat as an empty frame for weeks until we were in San Diego. We did some, the touristy thing, and took some pictures, and she found one that she just absolutely loves. In fact, she still is quite giddy when she talks about it. So, okay, that's the picture. So now she has it in the frame in her office, and we will show you that here momentarily. If I am not mistaken, you can see there in the upper left corner, Mrs. Brick Whisper sitting there with her feet on the TV tray crossbar. I think the reason why is because she has a hard time putting her feet flat on the floor because she's short. She's in the bag yelling, rude! If I'm not mistaken, she was doing her nails for this vacation. Yes, I do love to crack short jokes with Mrs. Brick Whisperer. All right, and the frame is done. Obviously, there is no image, but that will soon be rectified. We get home from San Diego, and one of the first things we did, I think it was the next day, because obviously we got home, we unpacked, we unwound. We had to show the kids everything that we had picked up while we were on vacation, to include streaming her phone onto the television so we can go through all of the vacation pictures. And it was at that point that Mrs. Brick Whisper pretty much said, hey, this is the picture that we're going to use, and here it is. Yes, that is the picture that I showed during the last video where we were at the Museum of Illusions in downtown San Diego. Like I said, she absolutely loves this picture. So, hey, makes her happy. She happy, I'm happy. Uh, but between when we got back from vacation, and I did not necessarily do a video. Dog hair. I got Lobo sitting next to me, and he apparently wants some attention. So I did not show the build process of these two items, and it was mostly because of the length of time I knew it was going to take to put these things together. So first, I had told y'all how Mrs. Brick Whisper loves the classic astronauts. So, sir, what are you doing? There ain't nothing in there for you. That's your best friend's pirate ship. That's not for Lobo. Lobo wanted to dive right into one of the things I'm going to be building for my father-in-law here shortly. So anyway, so yeah, she had found a couple of the classic astronauts. Then she found the classic astronaut babies. Next thing you know, she wanted every classic astronaut that Lego has released. Now she has gone on to try and, ooh, let's get this one, let's get this one. Well, those aren't Lego, those are customs, and so we kept it with straight Lego. For those of you that know, there's a couple of them that you have to essentially piece out from other figs, such as the purple astronaut and the gray astronaut. You have to hodgepodge those from a whole bunch of other figs. So I wanted to kind of go crazy with it. So we picked up the set. Everyone is awesome. And we extended it so that every minifig had its own little aisle. And so here it is. I was finally able to get this complete for her, and she was beside herself. Now, you guys saw me do the video once about the upscale baby astronaut. I'm not doing a video on that, but I will show an update. So she said she wanted one in purple. There are some parts that just don't come in purple. So she's getting it purple and black with the red, but I've still got some parts that I'm waiting for. So that's almost done. And here soon, I'm going to get her upscale astronaut done. Maybe I should put it to a vote what the upscale astronaut should hold, whether it be his metal detector or like a laser blaster. How about right down there in the comments? Y'all take a vote. Blaster, metal detector. Give me your input. And the last thing that I'm going to show off, and this one also took me a while to put together, we were getting ready to go see the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. I found an image on social media, and as much as I would love to take credit that this is my creation, it's not. I simply found an image. I was zooming in, zooming out, playing around with where it was at to try and figure out the parts that I needed. But here it is. It's a mosaic, and let me tell you, it looks amazing right now. If you wish to see it, come by Bricks and Minifigs Avondale. Up close, it looks cool, but oh my goodness, it looks like a very, very detailed image. If you stand on the other side of the store and look at it, it is very cool. So, hey, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share this with your friends, share this with your family, share this with anybody you know that loves Lego. And with all that being said, get ready for June because we've got some nautical themed sets to get built for my father-in-law because Father's Day is coming up. So make sure you stick around, make sure you watch that, and we will see you when we see you. Y'all have yourselves a great rest of your day. Bye.